party people. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Make sure you guys can hear me. Turn up the volume. Alrighty, so we are getting ready to start today's live. Of course, as you know, my name is Monique, pronouns she, her, hers, and I am the community health coordinator here at Whitman-Walker Health. Perfect. Thank you. It is Black History Month. I think this is our first live on the Real Talk platform for Black History Month. So I wanted to come in strong. It is our second Wednesday, and we want to shine some light on the history of African Americans who have made tremendous advancements and contributions to society. We all know how integral Black people are, not just in society, but in history. Of course, we know like the prominent figures, Madam C.J. Walker, who was the first self-made millionaire, George Washington Carver for peanut butter, MLK, Malcolm X, like we know all of those people, Shirley Chisholm. Those are the most prominent folks that we know, but there are a few who are also equally important that don't get the light that they should. So some things we don't know. The celebration of Black History Month began as Negro History Week, which was created in 1926 by Carter G. Woodson, a noted African-American historian, scholar, and educator and publisher. It became a month-long celebration in 1976. The month of February was chosen. I know there's a lot of talk, especially I think within the Black and African American community about Black History Month is the shortest month of the year. It's only 28 days long. However, the month of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass, another prominent African American that we know of, and Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln was chosen, of course, because he signed the Emancipation Proclamation that freed slaves, but we know that not all the slaves were free when he signed it, when it went into effect, or else there would have been no Juneteenth. So, yes. So that's why February is chosen. I personally did not know why February specifically was chosen. So that was something new for me. Some other things we didn't know. The NAACP was founded on February 12th, also chosen partly because of Lincoln's birthday, by a group of African American leaders to form a new permanent civil rights organization. And NAACP stands for National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Some, like I said, equally important, but probably not as well known African Americans. Jack Johnson became the first African American man to hold the heavyweight champion boxing title in 1908, and he held on to it until 1915. John Mercer Langston was the first Black man to become a lawyer when he passed the bar in Ohio in 1854. Langston became the first African American ever elected to public office in America. And he also is the great uncle of another prominent African American, Langston Hughes, the famed poet for the Harlem Renaissance. Hi, if you're just joining us, we're just doing some Black history facts that you may have not known. So next one, of course, we all know Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks is credited for helping to spark the civil rights movement when she refused to give up her seat on a public bus in Montgomery, Alabama, to a white person in 1955, inspiring the Montgomery bus boycott. But But there was a lesser known person named Claudette Colvin who was arrested 9 months prior, literally for the same thing, not giving up her seat to white passengers. But of course, we haven't heard from her. We haven't heard about her or more about her. The street letter, the letter drop box, the mailbox that we pull down the front, put your mail in, drop it in, and close it back, that was actually invented by Philip P. Downing, an African-American inventor. We all know that Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light. However, he also invented the gas mask, things we didn't know. We also know that George Washington Carver, famous for his creation when he found, that he can make butter, from peanut, hence peanut butter. But he also developed 300 derivative products from peanuts, like cheese, milk, coffee, flour, ink, dyes, plastics, wood stain, soap, linoleum, medicinal oil, and cosmetics. So he is way beyond just peanut butter. In 1914, Hattie McDaniel was the first African-American performer to win an Academy Award in the film industry for her highest honor, which was her role in Gone with the Wind. Of course, we know Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first African-American millionaire, but before Oprah and Michael Jordan became billionaires, Robert Johnson became the first African-American billionaire when he sold the cable station he founded, Black Entertainment Television, that we all know as BET, in 2001. So he was the first Black billionaire. What else? And if you have any Black history facts that folks actually may not know, aside from the prominent ones that we always hear about, that we hear about every February, that we got taught in school, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm always interested in learning more. This next fact is not necessarily like a person, but it's a thing. It's a thing. So population growth. So the Black population, oh yes, Miss Green from the pancake box. You mean, so the one that they've been using as Aunt Jemima? Is that the one that you're talking about? And they just changed it, I think, to Pearl Milling Company. I think that's what it's called now. But previously it was Aunt Jemima. Clarify for me with Miss Green from the pancake box, because that's the only one. Okay, yep, perfect. Okay, yep. So back to population growth. So the Black population in the United States in 1870 was only 4.8 million. I say only because in 2019, we just did a new census, and I don't think those numbers are out yet. But in 2019, the number of Black residents in the United States was 46.8 million. So shout out to us for continuing to grow, strive, and thrive in spite of, because we already know in current time, I feel like it has not changed, honestly, from back then, before I was even thought about, till now. There's a lot of racial strife in the Black and African American community. So for our population to go from 4.8 to 46.8, shout out to us for continuing to grow and thrive. And most people would say to be for real, the standard. I think the population growth is great. Now, I have two more facts, but I think these are more known facts, but I think they deserved honorable mention. And they are, the first one is, in 2008, we had the first Black president, Barack Obama, and he served for not only one, but 2 terms in presidency. Let's see. Miss Green used to be in the county fair and circus demonstrating how to make pancakes. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. So do you know, well, clearly, like, she was demonstrating how to make pancakes, and she was a saleswoman, but do you know how she became a part of because now it's the Pearl Milling Company. That's the name that's on the box, right? So that's who I'm assuming owned her name for however long they owned it. Do you know how they got in contact with her? She was the first Black entrepreneur. Got you. So do you know how she came in contact with the Pearl Milling Company? Because that's the name that's on the box. Do you know how they got in contact with her? Like who pitched her, how that happened? And now I'm interested to know. They had a partnership. Got you. Okay. I'm going to hit my Googles a little bit later to find out if she got her money's worth, because I feel like I remember seeing something in the news that her descendants were just like, she didn't get paid for it. Like, how are you still using her face and name? Which is why they changed it to Pearl Milling Company. So got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Google because I need to know, make sure, I want to know if her peoples got their money. Because I vaguely remember seeing something in the news that, they were in disagreements with the Pearl Milling Company. So yes, back to two people that we know, but I think deserves honorable mention just because, African Americans, like I mentioned earlier, are still dealing with high racial tensions, even in this day and age. So I think it's important to note that in 2008, Barack Obama became the first Black president of the United States, and he served not one, but 2 terms, the max that you can serve as a president, back to back anyway. And then just last year, in January 2001, Kamala Harris became the first first woman, let me put it that way, first woman of African and Asian descent to become vice president. Her mother immigrated to the States from India, and her father immigrated from Jamaica, which is actually where I'm from. She also graduated from Howard University, which is one of the oldest and most prestigious historically Black colleges and university, which is also my alma mater. And she's also a member of the first African-American sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I'm very proud on 2 fronts for Kamala, Vice President Kamala. Diana Carroll was the first Black woman to have a show. Yes, that I knew. But yes, Diana Carroll was the first Black woman to have a show on NBC. Yes, drop the facts. I love this. She played a nurse. Good job. Do you remember the show? I have my computer right here. I can hit Google's too. This is making me so excited. I love trivia that folks don't know. Was the name of the show Julia, or was her name Julia? Let me see. See if I can find it real quick. Yep, she played her role as Julia Baker, portraying the first African American female. And she played an educated, outspoken, successful nurse. She sure did. She also, if folks aren't familiar with her name, she also plays the mother of Whitley Gilbert in A Different World, which is a bomb show as well. Thanks for that fact. I love that. What other facts can you share with us? What other facts can you share with? Okay, what about Jackie? Jackie Harris, I love her. She is, if folks don't know who Jackie Harris is, more current, or at least for me, I might be showing my age, but she played the mom on Sister Sister. She was Tia's mom. But, so you're saying Jackie Harris played Sandra Clark. She played Sandra Clark in Julia with Diane Carroll? Oh, another person who I think that many folks may know her. Oh wait, she's the first Black woman to win a Tony Award. Okay. And that was Jackie. Come on, Jackie. So another thing that I don't know, I think people know her name, but not sure if they know what she was known for. But Henrietta Lacks, there was a documentary out about her. There's also a book about her life. But Henrietta Lacks, her cells were used, and she was a Black woman. Her cells were used to make a lot of the vaccines that we have to take, and still her cells are used because they continue to regenerate. They called her cells the immortal cells because they continue to regenerate, and folks are still using them to this day. And let me see, when did Henrietta die? Let's see. When did she die? Why do I see it? Why is it not in quick search? But yes, and the most known vaccine she died in 1951. That's when she died, and they're still using her cells to this present day in 2022. Her cell, most known or most well-known vaccine that her cells were used for, the polio vaccine, which saved how many people's lives? So shout out to Henrietta Lacks. And there was, like I said, there was a documentary about her recently, actually, saying that, her cells were actually taken without her permission. And her family only found out because they wanted to test the rest of the family to see what else they could come up with. And they, I won't say the name, but it's a prominent hospital that is still working till this day. If anyone knows who it is, I won't say it, but you can drop it in the chat. But a prominent hospital that is still up and running till this day. When her family was just like, wait, what do you want our blood and our cells for? They figured out, there you go. I ain't gonna repeat it, but there you go. That's the one. They were just like, oh, you've been using our family's cells, and we didn't know. So yeah, shout out to Henrietta Lacks for saving many lives and didn't even know it. Jackie Harris is still the only Black woman that has a Tony Award for Best Supporting Actress for a sitcom. Shout out to Jackie. She's awesome. But yes, so I will be, because we have to wrap up, but I will be back here next week, Wednesday, probably with some more Black history facts that we did not know. I think it's very, very important to not only shine the light on the advancements and contributions of African American throughout history, but not just February, but like 365. I think next week I'll do some more current. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed you too because you hit me with some facts. I appreciate it. Next week, I think I'll do some more current, notable African Americans and the advancements and contributions that they have made to today's society, including some influencers that I think may not be known, well known, but are doing some impactful work. So thank you for joining me. I do have to do my spiel about making sure that you are getting tested, because whether we like it or not, we are still in a whole pandemic. So please, please, please get vaccinated if you have not been. If you're thinking about it, please get vaccinated. And if vaccination is something that you don't want to do, again, shout out to Henrietta Lacks. If vaccination is something that you do not want to do, at minimum, please follow the CDC guidelines, wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance, okay? Have a great and awesome rest of your Wednesday.